Hello, everyone, and welcome to Covers and Pages podcast. My name is Rese, better known as Rese Elisa on my social media channels. And Covers and Pages podcast is just all about celebrating authors, bookstore owners, and your book influencers who continue to empower this book space and make the world go around. So I'm so excited about our guest that we have on today. And let me introduce her. She has made the cover of Covers and Pages podcast. So we have Nina High. Nina High writes fluffy, fun, contemporary black romance that will make you believe in love again. Raised in Oklahoma, she is a veteran teacher with nearly 20 years of experience in the classroom. Thank you, because teachers are amazing. She is the author of Love Under Contract and the teachers of Hardwood High, excuse me, and that's just to name a few. Nina loves Nina love for storytelling is inspired by her real life romance. She is married to her high school sweetheart, and on most days, she's the taxi driver for her three kids. And when she's not writing or shaping young minds, you can find her crocheting, reading, or binge watching reality TV. Nina's story celebrates love, laughter, and the beauty of life, flaws and all. Everyone, welcome Nina. Hi.
Hello, hello.
Yay! First and foremost, thank you so much for just carving out the time to talk to me. I look forward to just getting to know you better as an author, as a person, because I definitely believe indie authors do just y'all are just absolutely amazing. Now I know I read your bio, but just tell people who do not know you, who have never read any of your books, please let everyone know who exactly is Nina High.
I feel like I'm just a regular person. I don't have any extraordinary anything going on. My daughter just got smart with me via text like 10 minutes ago. So just I am a mom, a teacher, a wife, and I love to write and I love to write Black stories. So I wrote what I wanted to read. Um, I saw like a billionaire romance, but it wasn't us. And I was like, but I haven't read any of those. And I haven't dug deep. I didn't dig very deep into Black romance because I just, it was whatever I was exposed to. And now I'm like, let me write my own. And here we are.
Right. I remember when I first discovered you, you came across my For You page on TikTok. And I was like, a billionaire romance? Wait a minute. I need to go check this out. So I put it on my never ending TBR list. And when I got done with the book before I read yours, I was like, okay, I gotta go check out, Nina High. I gotta go read it. And I downloaded that book and honey fell in love. I was reading every chapter. I was like, I wish this was me.
That's the
I wish I
goal.
could find a
That
billionaire.
is the goal. That's what because they get it all the time. I wanted us to have it. I wanted us to have someone to swoon for who would spoil you and do all the crazy stuff. So you're like, this is never going to happen in real life. No, it's not, but it can happen in a book for us too. So that's
That
why I
part.
wrote it.
That part. Love that. So what influenced you to start writing books?
I've always been a writer. Since I was in third grade, I've just been writing stories. It's just who I am, I think. And as my husband, I'm always creating a narrative. So I'll be watching people and seeing them fight and be like, mm-hmm. He just said something to her. And I'll just create their argument and it drives him crazy, but it's who I am. There's always something brewing up here. And so putting it on paper and making it a cohesive story just is the next step.
Would you say that's pretty much where you get your inspiration from? Just witnessing just
Yeah.
like real,
Yeah.
real life stories?
Facebook stories, headlines. I'm like, oh, that's cute. I will take a TikTok scenario and be like, that's a good book. I will anything I see, I can flip it into a story and have a plot in like an hour. Like I love to organize. So like I love to plan. So I love plotting and coming up with what's going to happen next. And stories I have a whole, there's so many files. I have a thing on my phone. I have it written down. Years of stuff in my head.
Oh God, I love that. I love that. That's because sometimes I used to work in government a while back, and when I tell you, my friend and I we were just chatting about this. He was like, "Yeah, that movie idea, that book idea that you had, I think I'm gonna take it because there was a mayor that got charged for like a bribery crime."
Hmm.
And I tell people if you think the internet has tea, go work with these
Yes.
politicians.
Yes. Yes.
They they have some tea.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. And I've been sitting on this idea for so long. And I'm just like, one day I may put words to paper.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because
Absolutely.
that is that and then just some personal things I've been through.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I feel like my life is a movie.
Hmm. Mine is not. Well, mine is a boring movie, but you'll get through it. But yeah, yeah, everything is a story though, because I have no idea what your life is. And
Hmm.
it would be just a completely different world to me. I just come
Hmm.
home from work and actually I work from home. I go downstairs and walk to the bus stop and see my daughter and, give her a snack and wait for my other kids. Like everybody's got a different life and just stepping into somebody else's, whether it's real or fiction or fake, it's fun. It's the escape.
It is fun. How long have you been writing? Since what
Um,
year?
I mean, I remember when my first year of teaching, I have a file. It's called Misadventures. I never finished it. I never finished it. I never like got that far with it, but it was Misadventure. When I started teaching in 2005. So I have maybe half of that book somewhere on some file somewhere. So that's when I was like, I'm going to be an author. And, that was 20 years ago. So it's taken me a long time. And I would write sporadically, I would just be writing, but I never understood how to publish. I didn't know any part of it until I started working with, she's an author and then she was an author coach. And I started working for her in we bartered. So I worked for her and she let me go through her very expensive program about how to become an author, like steps to finding what you should be writing and how to do it right. Um, and so that's when I finally decided it's time to really do it. And I want to kick myself for not doing it sooner.
What are some challenges that you have faced since putting out your first book?
Time, time management. I have 3 kids. I've been married for almost 20 years. I have a family. I mean, my oldest is 16 and my youngest is 9, and they're in sports. And I'm a teacher. I don't teach in a traditional classroom anymore, so I make my own schedule. But still, I get text messages from my students, from their parents, and so managing my time has been the hardest thing. And knowing when to stop, because I'll want to be up in this room all day writing when I have a deadline and then ignoring my children. And I'm like, well, that's not that's not balance. So um I am trying to find the balance. And social media is hard because to hit on especially like TikTok, you have to be on it for hours.
Hmm.
Um and it worked for me. I in was it in June? I maybe May or June. Um I had a bunch of TikToks hit like 20K. And that's what gave me the boost to be in front of people. And that's where it really started kicking off for me. But I was on it for like 5 hours a day, posting and commenting and stuff to like get in the algorithm. And it worked, but it is work. And so I still struggle with that because I'm like, okay, I don't feel like it. But then you don't feel like getting sales. You don't feel like getting page reads and downloads. So and then I guess it's just more that idea of balance that I struggle with.
Yeah. Now, um I'm sure you read the reviews on
I
Amazon,
do.
Goodreads, and all these other wonderful platforms that you can go and review
Uh huh.
whatever, right? how do you, how do you deal with just some of the negative reviews?
I accept that that person wasn't my reader. It's plain. It's simple as that. You're not my reader. If you didn't like what I wrote, that means that you shouldn't read my books. Um, like if there's, there's editing issues. Okay, I get that. Yeah. And I'll work better on that. But, if you didn't like the FMC, well, okay. She is who she is. I am who I
Right.
am. This book is what it is. And I don't take it. I took it personally for like a week. And then I was like, then you have to look, because I don't think I have, maybe one book has 1-star review. Most of them are 3 and above, and most of them are at the 4 and 5. And so I can't value one person's opinion over many. And so I don't.
Hmm.
Simple as that.
Yeah, I was telling someone else that I personally, if I just do not like a book, I don't leave a review or
Yeah.
post any content about it, because for one, as a creator, I'm extremely sensitive about my craft,
Mm-hmm.
and I put a lot of thought in it and I put a lot of work in it. So, in my eyes, I think it's good, but I'm also really hard on myself as well. So I just don't want to, especially indie authors or just authors, period. But I just don't want to put something out
Yeah.
and just because this is y'all's baby. This is something
Mm-hmm.
that you birthed from the
Yeah.
ground up, and I just don't have the heart of being like, oh yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like
Yeah.
her writing style was just garbage
Yeah.
and la 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 la
Yeah.
la la, all this other stuff. But I just
Just
don't have a
gently
heart,
put
and
the
when I
book down.
see exactly, I'm gonna just close it because I read a book. I I read a book, and this Arthur, she was new, and I didn't mean to say the gender, but I didn't already said it, but she was new, and she, she wanted me to read her book, but there was a lot of grammatic errors in that book, and I couldn't focus on the
Mm-hmm.
storyline
Yeah.
because it was just kind of like basic
It's messy.
grammar
Yes.
that I was just kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
but you would never hear that from
Yes.
me going like, oh no, don't read it. This was blah 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 blah. And then again, this is her first book that she is
Mm-hmm.
publishing. So I can just only imagine, her being extremely excited. And then sometimes when you know for yourself, when you are looking at a computer screen for hours, everything starts to jumble up
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and like mash up. So that's where they say like leave, come back with a fresh set of
Mm-hmm.
eyes, and also get someone else to
Yeah.
look over your work for you, because there might be some things that you know you have missed or whatever that somebody else can catch,
Yeah.
with that being said, transitioning, have you ever felt that you wanted to leave the book space?
No. No. Because it's not,
Hmm.
if I was putting everything into it and getting what I'm getting in return, I and it was all that I had, probably, because it wouldn't be enough to sustain me. I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be able to support my family and, do what I want to do. So, but that's not how I'm viewing my writing career right now. It's extra. I use whatever I get as extra. I wanted yes money from my family. And it gives me some yes money. And I like it. Like no one's been mean to me. No one's been hypercritical. No one's starting a feud. So, my books get a good reception, and that's all I want. So, I've made a lot of friends, met a lot of people. Like I am usually just go about my business. Like don't branch out, don't talk to people. So this is pushing me, and I'm meeting so many people. Like I love every part of it, except for having to post on social media.
Right. But the good thing about social media, when new people discover you, that's more marketing for your
Yes.
for your material.
Yes.
Because I sent my one of my book friends the 3 copies of your book,
Hmm.
and she just says, "I'm so excited to read them," and I'm like, "Yay!"
Yeah, yeah.
I, I love that, and that's one thing I love about being in just the book space. Like, it's a whole new world, just introducing new people
Yes,
and
yes.
just new genres and different things like that. Like, have you thought about maybe, writing a different genre in the future?
Yes.
And if you have, what genre would that be?
I was thinking about doing it under a different pen name though, and it would be
Mhm.
totally different. I'm not gonna say anymore, but
Okay.
I
we I got
yeah, but it would just, I don't know. I've thought about fantasy though, but it's too complicated for my brain. I just like I can't build a magic system and all of that stuff is hard. It's hard. I tried and it just didn't come out the way I wanted it to. And I was like, I'm just angry. So I stopped. Let me just have some people fall in love. I can do that.
Let me know. That's gonna be my first fantasy book I read because I am not a fantasy girl.
I love
When I
fantasy. I love it.
when I see those thick encyclopedias, I'm like, oh no. Mm-mm. If no.
Okay, so you need to do a fantasy on audio. That would be it for you. That would be an in because then you could just be like driving or cleaning your kitchen and you have dragons and stuff going in the background. I think that I have a hard time sitting down and reading any book. Just I need audio more, and I haven't read a physical book in years. I can't. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I cannot. That's why it took me so
Yeah.
long to do my own physical books because I was like, I don't read them, and I'm a narcissist, and everybody does what I do.
Listen, I agree. I purchase physical books just for them to sit on my bookshelf
Mm,
as trophies.
okay.
Like, and also to support the
Yeah.
authors as well. Like, I'm like, I have a Kindle,
Yeah.
so I
Exactly.
have my Kindle. I have my, my audio apps and stuff like that, and I'm just like, I'm fine, but like I said, I only purchase a physical book
So for a
just to
trophy,
support the author, and
it's a
yes,
trophy.
and to sit it on my shelf.
I love it.
But you want to know what's so funny? I told myself I am not going to purchase another physical book. And then today, here come Target, buy two get one free. Like,
Well,
you know
oh,
what?
B plus J. I just put the physical book up, so
Okay.
and the Martin Family Christmas, that physical book is going to be coming too.
And I'm gonna end up
I'm
buying
just
it.
saying. You know what? You know what? I will send. I will. I don't even know how. I don't know how to like send it to you without order. I'll order some and I'll send it to you. Okay, you get the ebook and I'll get the physical copies to you because you're a fan. You're a fan. You're a fan. You're a fan.
I am. I am a fan. And speaking of that, have you do you have like your website in the word? Well, no, you have a website.
I let it go because I was getting
Okay.
frustrated. I gave up too soon. Well, I gave up, and that's fine because I think I need more of a backlog before I try to sell direct. I need more before I try to just go direct and be anti Amazon because I just, we're still babies. And it just
Right.
doesn't work like that for us. And for me specifically, it wasn't working for me in the way that I wanted it to. So I still have the domain. I haven't set up the website again, but I'm just not ready to venture into that because it's not as guaranteed. I've never had a 0 day on Amazon, so I accept that.
And speaking of Amazon, I know that the payout isn't as much as if you were
Oh yeah,
some of these other
yeah.
uh, white
Mhm.
counterparts and just other races of authors. What challenges have you faced just with Amazon alone?
Um, I don't know. I don't think not that I know of. I put my book up and people read it. So I
Mhm.
don't think it's being hidden or anything. I know that it being seen is dependent on me. and my posting on social media and all that stuff. So, and I know that if you, the more books you put out at a time, it helps your algorithms. Like when I put out Love Undercover the next month after Love from Scratch, I had great sales because it was back to back. So, Amazon and I are friends, and I will not speak ugly. Will not be saying anything ugly.
Writer's block. Now, has that kicked in for you?
Sometimes, yeah. I'm struggling
Mm.
with Portia and Drummond's part of this Christmas book because I'm doing Martin Family Christmas, Love at Christmas. So I was like, let's keep this going. And Portia and Drummond are moving in together, and I was struggling a little bit with like, she's having issues because the house is so big, and they're throwing a Christmas brunch, and she's losing her mind. She redecorates the house he has unlimited money, so she's like buying more and more stuff, and it looks like Christmas blew up in their mansion. And so I've kind of been struggling with getting that whole story together, but I'm coming out of it. And then I've got to get to Amaya and Draymond are getting married on Christmas Day. And then Charisse and Drew are expecting twin girls any day now. So
Yes.
3 novellas in one book, and I've been stuck on the first novella, but I'm like two chapters away from finishing it.
Yes, I love that for you. And y'all, let's side note, Charisse in Love on the Contract. That's my real name, y'all. That's my government name. My mom named me Charisse. Okay. So when I opened that book and saw that the FMC name was Charisse, it's spelled different. But
Hey,
when I saw the name was Charisse, I was like, oh my God.
I can read
And
that.
that was another and that was another reason why I was like, yeah, I love this author. Like she didn't even know me.
And I wrote
And
your
she put my
story.
name. Listen, manifesting
Yes.
my billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
I told my friend, I'm gonna marry a man with money. I don't know who that man gonna be. We gonna have some money.
We're gonna find each other.
Listen, we definitely definitely going to find each other. Now, when it comes to trying to get your books in the big box stores, the Targets, the Barnes and Noble, and the rest of the big box bookstores, like have you reached out? Do you
No,
want to
all of them are in
eventually?
KU. So, I mean, I know the paperback, but
Okay.
no, that's just ebooks. So I haven't, no, I don't even know how to do that, honestly. I am, this is probably not so much. I'm a fly by the seat of my pants kind of person. I don't research. I just figure it out in the moment. And that's something I haven't even tried to figure out. So no, haven't done it yet.
I would love to walk in Barnes and Noble and just see your book and just get so excited.
I know.
But there is a bookstore here in Houston. There's a few of them that black owned bookstores that I go to, and I give them some recommendations of indie authors they should have, and you are one of them.
Yeah.
So
nice.
yes.
I love that. Thank you.
Yes. I am, because books have saved my life. I tell people I always been a reader. I always read, especially I started reading in like junior high, and my first book that I picked up was one of Carl Weber's books. I didn't have no business reading that book in junior high. Okay, none whatsoever. And I remember a friend gave it to me, and then I started reading it, and it just kind of just went up from there. Right. I mean, of course, I was reading my Judy B. Jones and Bernstein Bears. I had to read all those books for the Harry Potters. Okay, I had to read it for an AR test and all that stuff. But when I got my hands on Carl Weber, honey, I just took off running. But over the course of the years, I was reading. It just wasn't as much as what it is now. And I actually wrote this on my threads that I entered into like a very dark space of like early this year, last year. And when I picked up a book, it truly has changed my life. And I say all that to say that me personally, I want to continue to love y'all, love indie authors, support indie authors, push out because the amount of books that I have read that has changed my life completely, I can't do anything but continue to support y'all because you never know who you were touching.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would never know who you touching. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And I want to just say thank you because reading your books has truly made me believe in love
Oh my
again.
goodness.
Even though these are fictional characters, okay? But it has truly given me hope
Oh.
that love is out there and that a man is going to treat me
Mm-hmm.
exactly how I should be
Yes.
treated.
Yes. Well, thank you. That's so sweet.
Yes. And
Okay.
I am here to give you your flowers,
Thank you.
honey.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, that's why I'm writing though. That's why I'm doing all of this because there is that dream and it does exist. Maybe not to the grand scale of, flying you and your friends out on the private jet, but it's real.
Hey, listen, we can keep speaking it. It'll happen. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, with the Martin Brothers series and as well as the Teachers of Hardwood High, was there ever a point where you was just like, you know what, I can't finish this. I'm finna close this up. I can't do this no more. This give me a headache. I don't know where I'm going with these stories. Does this even make any sense?
Which one? I struggled with Love from Scratch because it
Mm,
was, I don't think it was very tropey. It wasn't like enemies to lovers. It wasn't workplace. It was just two people discovering each other. It didn't fit any big trope that I could think of. So I struggled with, is it enough? Is it good enough? Is it the right story to tell? But I mean, people have responded really well to it and they like it. So I guess I did, but I know I couldn't, when you do those little things, the little book with the different descriptors, I was like, I don't know, billionaire? That's all I could think of, There was, what else was there? I don't know, but just love. And it worked because it was their story.
right. Now, can we expect any of the books to come to the audio world, the audio books?
Yeah, Love Under Contract won the audio and color grant. Um, and so I know, right? I was like, excuse me? One of my author friends she told me about it and I was like, whatever, I'm not going to win. And I just put all the stuff in there. And then I think it was shortly after that my book started blowing up on TikTok a little bit. So it kept like growing and growing. And then I was like, oh, because they were like, how many followers do you have? And I was like, 200, and it wasn't where it is now. And so I didn't think that I was going to win, but I mean, Demon's Dream won this same awards this year. It was my book and Demon's Dream. And I was like, oh, I thought I was a baby and I still am a baby, but I'm a big baby because I'm up here with them. So it blew my mind a little bit that I won and the other people that I won with. This is my first book ever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know
Nina, you
when.
a big dog.
I know. I was like, oh, I'm definitely, when I saw who, like, because I got like in the finalists and I was like, nah, thank you for considering me. And then it was, and then when they announced that I won, I was like, no, I didn't. Are you crazy? Me? Little old me? Yeah. So I think I meet with the person soon to talk about narrators and stuff. So I'm baffled. I don't know if I'll be able to
Okay.
afford. Well, thank you. I don't know when I'll be able to afford to do it on my own with the other ones. But I haven't researched it much, so this will be a learning experience for me. And then we'll go from there. But I would love to because I am an audio person. I would not be able to
Me
read as many
too.
books as I do if I didn't do audio. I drive a lot.
Right.
Um, and so I listen while I drive, and it helps me out. I got my son
Yeah,
listening
me
to an
too.
audiobook while I drive him to school now. It's like, you don't want to read, you're going to listen.
Right, exactly. I am an audiobook girl. I will stand on that. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not here to fight with any
No,
of the
audio reading is reading.
audiobooks, not a book.
It is. It is.
I'm not.
It's even
It
a more
is.
expensive
It
book,
is
so hush.
exactly.
And tell that
That
to a vision impaired person. They don't read, huh? You telling me they're illiterate? Be
exactly, and
quiet. Be quiet.
I also feel like when people make those type of comments, you're kind of discrediting the narrators,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
crap.
because they put a lot of work
Mm-hmm.
and hours
Yeah. Yeah.
into this. So to say an audiobook isn't a book is that's a whole nother podcast for a whole nother day. Okay. Anywho,
It's
have
crap.
has any of your family members read any of your books?
My wonderful husband. He snuck and bought it and read it and reviewed it. And I saw it's like it's a part of our real last name. And I was like, who wrote this review? And I was like, did you read my book? And he's like, how could you tell? Your name on Amazon. It was the sweetest thing. And it was the nicest review ever. And I was like, oh, him loves me. I had no idea. I
That's
had no
so
idea. Because he
cute.
doesn't read fiction. He doesn't read, like, he will read an exercise book and all that stuff, but he doesn't read fiction at all. And
Mhm.
romance, And I was like, you read my book. You read my book. I know people, my great grandma, 89-year-old great grandma, bought all my books, but I don't think she hasn't been able
What?
she hasn't been able to read them yet. But she just
Yeah.
sent me a message. She's like, congrats on your new book. I haven't read your other ones yet. I was like, oh, thank you. And I know
That is so
my
cute.
mother-in-law bought them, and I was like, ma'am, now I need you to know these are not, because she's very religious and very, prim and proper. And I'm like,
Mhm.
she's like, you said they're fluffy, so I'm just gonna act like they're the Harlequins I used to read. Okay.
Okay. Listen.
Okay.
Okay, I tried to warn you.
Okay.
I tried to warn you, sis, but hey.
Hey, there's
Okay.
so many words in there, ma'am.
So,
Yes.
so just tell me what's next for Nina High.
Nina High's gonna take a little. Nina High's tired. Nina, I feel like I've been writing forever. So I've got B plus J, Ben and Janae's coming out on the 15th of this month. So in a couple, I don't know, what's today? In 5 days, right?
Today's November 10th.
Okay, in 5 days it comes out.
This podcast is gonna go up after the release, but
Okay, thank you,
congratulations.
thank you.
Release date.
Whoop, 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 whoop. And
Please
then
go make sure y'all download the book, you all.
please do download or buy. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Yes.
I think I make like $1 if you read the whole thing on KU, and I make $4 if you read it. No, $3 if you buy it. Just FYI. So, just throwing that out there. What was I gonna say? Christmas, Love at Christmas, is coming December 14th. Also, we have 12 Days of Black Christmas coming. Me and actually it's like 15 authors. I wanted to do 12 days, and then we had 15 people, and I was like, okay, we'll just 12 days still sounds good. So between the 14th and the 24th, we're going to release a novel or two every day for our readers. That's a Christmas novella. We're going to start. I've got to put together a little group today of us to start working on marketing, but I think they'll probably all be in KU, maybe most of them. But we're gonna give you guys a gift. Read a book every day. If you're a teacher like me and you get Christmas break, you've got from the 12th to the 24th to take a day and read a book. But that's it for 2024. I don't know that we'll get anything until like March 2025. Because like I said, I'm going to start a secret pen name. And I'm going to be working on that a little bit. And then I can go in so many different directions too. I could do some more Hardwood High. We could do Lily and Javante. Who else? Who else was in there? I don't remember. I could do another. I'm setting up quite a few couples in this next Hardwood High book. So, and I might just go somewhere else. I told you, I have a lot of ideas. So, there will be plenty of releases in 2025, but just don't count on them in January. Your girl's tired. Your girl's tired. Yeah.
I understand. Well, I love that for you. I wish you nothing but the best. I am a fan. I am a
You
fan. I
are.
love your
You
writing. I
are.
love
Thank
the
you.
stories, and I'm going to keep on supporting, loving on you and the rest of these amazing indie authors. If you
You.
are watching on YouTube, you get the chance to see my shirt. It says Black Authors
Oh, I
Matter
love
because
it.
they do. They
I
do.
love it.
So before we close out, please just let everyone know where they can be able to find you, where they can reach you.
I'm on TikTok at Nina High Author or Author Nina High. I think it's both of them. I have two. Um, I'm on Threads, Author Nina High. I'm on Instagram, Author Nina High. You can just email me, nina@ninahigh.com. And I will slide into the DMs. Tell me. I love when someone's reading the book and messaging me. Please, so we can giggle together because I love that. I do it with authors all the time. I'd be like, girl, I see what you're doing here, or something like that. I will message an author all the time and be like, this is crazy. What are you doing? Love it. So please harass me, please. I'm needy.
I love that. I love that. Again, thank you so much for just carving the time out to just have this conversation with me. Congratulations on release dates. Burr, 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 burr,
Yeah,
burr, 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 burr. I love doing that. Congratulations. Everyone, please be sure to tap in with Nina High. Follow her. Go buy her books.
purchase.
Heavy on the buy. Heavy on the buy.
Yes, yes.
And I believe some of your books are like $2.99, $3.99, $4.99. They're
The ebooks are
relatively,
$4 or $5.99. Yeah, and if it's
yeah,
on,
very inexpensive.
and the paperbacks are 11. There's one that's 15. I don't know how that happened, but but the rest of them are 11.99. So
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. And also, if you reach out to her, if you DM her, she might, can get you a little signed
I could do that. I do
copy.
have some on my shelf over here.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
love sending a signed copy.
Yes, because I have my signed copies sitting right there on my bookshelf. I love to just pull them out and look at them, and then I put them back in there, and then I grab my Kindle and go to bed and go read.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you all for tuning in to Covers and Pages podcast. Be sure to follow me on social media. Follow Nina on her social media pages. Thank you for being the cover of Covers and Pages podcast. I love this. And I will tune in with everyone later. Bye, y'all.